Giving all praise unto Yahweh Shema Shai Bashim Kodash, double honors unto the apostles of great millstone, and honest brothers that be pushing his truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And above our body are coming out here to give you this truth for the grace and mercy of Yahweh Bashim Shai Bashim Kodash, double honors unto the apostles of great millstone, and honest brothers that be pushing his truth and sincerity. So okay, so I should be alright to continue here. So we're gonna do this quick video, and this is dealing with the thick clay they have but yet. And we know this is an instrument of the Red Hebrew Edomites. One of the major instruments of the Red Hebrew Edomites, both in how they capture a particular nation and how also too they've been able to spread themselves throughout the four corners of the earth. And we can see from this particular post, we're going to see it from the news article in a second as well, that this debt equivalent, this debt, U.S. Treasury debt, is a hell of a lot of money that's never going to be paid, and therefore the economy is going to default. So this is what we're looking forward to here, the men of the Lord. They're bringing of the CHIP, and they might have what's known as a poly crisis, where the markets crash and food shortages and this, that, and the third, and then bring in the CHIP. We're going to see what they're going to do. We're going to see what they're going to do, but we're just going to briefly touch on this without too much explanation, right? So it says here, U.S. Treasury has 57 billion in cash on hand, while the government carries 31 trillion in debt. See that? Again, like I said, debt is a major tool in the Red Hebrew Edomites' arsenal. Right, that's the equivalent of an average person having $1,000 in cash and 500,000 in debt. It's a hell of a lot of a difference, man. That's a hell of a lot of a disparity. What's that, like a 500,000%? A hell of a lot of disparity. Yeah, it's 500,000%, isn't it? I believe that's 500. Was it 500? Yeah, 500 times percent. It's a lot of percentage. Right, it's a lot of percentage difference. Let's see this in the article. The U.S. debt ceiling talks hampered by serious differences. This is what's currently happening out there within the U.S. White House and Republican negotiators have resumed U.S. debt ceiling talks as after a brief pause on Friday that's rattled financial markets. That's the story of the days we're living in, and that's why the scripture says that within Revelations, how basically the wheat, all of that, barley, grain, right? A man's sustenance was going to become very expensive within a lot of times. We're living in Black Horse days, man. That might be the title of the video. Without a deal, the U.S. could default on its debt at 31 trillion, and that would mean the government could not borrow any more money or pay off any of its debt, basically killing off the market, as far as I understand it. So they're probably going to lift it up again and lift it up again and lift it up again, and this thing is going crazy. But we know ultimately it's all setting up for the CHIP. So 31 trillion. That's what you know as incomprehensible numbers. I can't say that word today. So let's go into the scriptures. Right, here's the precepts. I think we're gonna go to James, the 5th chapter first, and then we'll take it from there. James 5:1, it says, "Go to now, ye rich men, howl, for your miseries are come upon you, and your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten, your gold is cankered, and the rest of them will be a witness against you." So, yeah, man, this whole society, the financial system throughout the four corners of the earth are failing, and it's beautiful to see that it's the major countries now, the big countries, the big guns, that are failing now, because Sri Lanka failed, no one batted an eyelid after 2 weeks. Zimbabwe failed, no one batted an eyelid after 2 weeks. Venezuela failed, no one batted an eyelid. Now you're seeing the dollars getting involved. Now you're seeing the pounds getting involved. You're seeing these major big countries, they're starting to fail now. And you know what's going to be the solution already. We don't that goes without saying, but it's the CHIP. You get one more quick precept here. This is the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. And we're going to go straight to the point. 6th verse. "Shall not all of these," Habakkuk 2:6 says, "shall not all of these take up a proverb against him, a taunting proverb, and say, woe unto him that increases that which is not his, right? Because they have amassed all the world's resources unto themselves. Woe unto him that increases that which is not his. How long to him that is laden with thick clay? When you go into this word thick clay, it refers back to the debts, right? The thick clay represents the debts, right? And these debts now, they start to come calling, man. And these countries that have been part of the dollar, they're gonna start not dealing with the dollar anymore, leading to more and more signs of a crash, man. So, hey, man, these are the times that we're living in, right? The last days are the last days, and the dollar's not gonna be no more pretty soon. So, hopefully that was of edification. With that, I must say, oh, praise unto Yahweh, Shema, Shabbat, Shema, Kodash, double honors unto the apostles, a great millstone. Honor your brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity.